Hello, today is good afternoon. Today is February 26th. Let's continue our series of book reading of the book Pinocchio. So, chapter 22. Pinocchio discovers the robbers. He had been sleeping heavily for about 2 hours when towards midnight, he was aroused by a whispering of strange voices that seemed to come from the courtyard. Putting the point of his nose out of the kennel, he saw four little beasts with dark fur that looked like cats. That looked that looked like cats. Putting the point of his ho- Putting the point of his nose out of the kennel, he saw four little beasts with dark fur that looked like cats, standing consulting together. But they were not cats. They were polecats, carnivorous little animals, especially greedy for eggs and young chickens. One of the polecats, leaving his companions, came to the opening of the kennel and said in a low voice, "Good evening, Melampo." "My name is not Melampo," answered the puppet. "Oh, then who are you?" "I am Pinocchio." And what are you doing here?" "I am acting as a watchdog." "Then where is Melampo? Where is the old dog who lived in this kennel? Where is the old dog who lived in this kennel?" "He died this morning." "Is he dead? Poor beast. He was so good. But judging you by your face, I should say that you were also a good boy." "I beg your pardon. I'm not a dog." They, but judge, but judging you by your face, I should say that you were. But judging you by your face, I should say that you were also a good dog." "I beg your pardon. I'm not a dog." "Not a dog? Then what are you?" "I'm a puppet. I am a puppet." "And you are acting as a watchdog?" "That is only true. That is only too true. That is only too true. True, true, true.
True.
True, 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 true. I forgot. I should pause the video because I was looking at how to pronounce true. True. I think that's it. That is only too true as a that is only too true as a punishment. Well then, I will offer you. I will. Well then, I will offer you. Well then, I will offer you the same conditions that we made with the deceased Melampo, and I am sure you will be satisfied with them. Well then, I will offer you the same conditions that we made with the deceased Melampo, and I am sure you will be. Well then, I will offer you the same conditions that we made with the deceased Melampo, and I am sure that you will be satisfied with them. What are these conditions? One night in every one night in every week, one night in every week, you are to permit us to visit this paltry yard as we have hitherto. One night in every one night in every week, one night in every week, one night in every week, you are to permit us to visit this paltry yard as we have hitherto done. Hitherto. One night in every week, every. One night in every week, one night in every one night in every week, 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 you are to permit us to visit this paltry yard as you have hitherto done, and to carry off 8 chickens. Of these chickens, 7 are to be eaten by us, and one we will give you to you. We will. We will. One night in every week, one night in every week, you are to permit us to visit this poultry yard as we have hitherto done, and to carry off 8 chickens. Of these chickens, 7 are to be eaten by us, and one we will give it to you. One of the express understanding, however, that you pretend to be asleep, and that it never enters your head to bark and to waken the peasant. Did Melampo act in this manner? Asked Pinocchio. Certainly, and we were always on the best terms with him. Sleep quietly and rest assured that before we go, we will leave by the canal and a beautiful chicken ready plucked for your breakfast tomorrow. Have we understood each other clearly? Only too clearly, answered Pinocchio, and he shook his head threateningly, as much as to say, You shall hear of this shortly. The 4 polecats, thinking themselves safe, repaired to the poultry yard, which was close to the kennel, and having opened the wooden gate with their teeth and claws, they slipped in one by one. But they had only just passed through when they heard the gate shut behind them with great violence. It was Pinocchio who had shut it, and for greater security he put a large stone against it to keep it closed. He then began to bark, and he barked exactly like a watchdog. Bow wow, bow wow. That's how barks. That's how the bark sounds are written in English. Hearing the barking, the peasant jumped out of the. Hearing the barking, the peasant jumped out of the bed. Hearing the barking, the peasant jumped out of the bed. Jump out of. Hearing the barking, the peasant jumped out of the bed, and taking his gun, he came to the window and asked, "What is the matter?" "There are robbers! There are robbers! There are robbers! There are robbers! There are robbers! Robbers! There are robbers!" has answered Pinocchio. "Where are they? Where 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 are they?" "In the poultry yard. I will come down directly." In fact, in less time than it takes to say Amen, the peasant came down. He rushed in the poultry yard, caught the polecats, and having put them into a sack, he said to them in a tone of great satisfaction, "At last you have fallen into my hands. At last you have fallen into my hands. I might punish you, but I am not so cruel. I will content myself instead. I will content myself instead by carrying you into the morning to the innkeeper of the neighboring village, who will skin and cook you and hares who will skin and cook you as hares with a sweet and sour sauce. It is an honor that you don't deserve, but generous people like me don't consider such trifles." He then approached Pinocchio and began to caress him, and amongst other things he asked him, "How did you manage to discover the 4 thieves? To think that Milampo, my faithful Milampo, never found out anything." The puppet might then have told him the whole story. He might have informed him of the disgraceful conditions that had been made between the dog and the polecats. But he remembered that the dog was dead, and he thought to himself, "What is the good of accusing the dead? The dead are dead, and the best thing to be done is to leave them in peace." That is very wise of him. I don't know it. I don't know if I would shut my mouth because I think I would like to warn the peasants about future dogs and future thieves. When the thieves got into the yard, were you asleep? When the thieves got into the yard, were you asleep or awake? The peasant went on to ask him. "I was asleep," answered Pinocchio, "but the polecats woke me with their chatter, and one of them came to the kennel and said to me, 'If you promise not to bark and not to wake the master, we will we will make you a present of a fine chicken ready plucked.' To think that they should have had the audacity to make such a proposal to me. For, although I am a puppet, possessing perhaps nearly all the faults in the world, there is one that I certainly will never be guilty of. guilt of, that of making terms with, and sharing the gains of dishonest people. Let's try it again. I was asleep, answered Pinocchio, but the polecats woke me with their chair. I was asleep, answered Pinocchio, but the polecats woke me with their chatter, with their. Nossa, agora fiz. I was asleep, answered Pinocchio, but the polecats woke me with their chatter. But the polecats woke me with their chatter, and one of them came to the kennel and said to me, "If you promise not to bark and not to wake the master, we will make you a present of a fine chicken ready plucked." To think that they should have had the audacity to make me such a proposal to me! For although I am a puppet, possessing perhaps nearly all the faults in the world, there is one that I certainly will never be guilty of, that of making terms with and sharing the gains of dishonest people. Well said, my boy, cried the peasant, slapping him on the shoulder. Such sentiments do you honor, such sentiment, such sentiments do you honor, and as proof of my gratitude, I will at once set you at liberty, and you may return home. And he removed the dog, and he removed the dog collar. He could have, he could as well give him some meal, right? He probably was already. Pinocchio probably was starving. It was the hunger that made him prisoner in the first place, and he saved the peasant of lots of chicken robbery. So at least make it make the boy a meal. So make the boy a meal and let him go home to with a belly full of food. So this way, I'm gonna I'm gonna stop right here this episode and start again, most likely tomorrow.